Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday to you. Happy very wet Sunday afternoon and evening. Not the best of days. And, unfortunately, we've been talking about this storm that was going to move in over the last couple days, and it is here. And it is quite impressive as we are looking at a lot of rain on the way. And we actually saw quite a bit of rain throughout the area throughout the morning and afternoon. But really, this storm system started last night. I mean, it started raining all throughout the area, throughout the overnight hours last night. And then it rained almost all day, especially in areas in southern Maine, up towards the mid-coast, and up through about like Freiburg, areas like that. It was raining pretty much all day. But yeah, we have a lot of rain still on the way. We are looking at some heavy rain through the overnight hours. The winds are going to pick up as well, especially along the coastline. We actually have a wind advisory up through the coastline for tonight. I'll show you that in just a second. Let's get a look outside in Portland right now. And you can see the temperature, 47 degrees. The temperature is not the story for tonight. Temperatures, I'll just say it, going to stay in the 40s through the overnight hours. So that's not the story. It's the rain and the wind. We have some pretty heavy rain, a band that just moved through the Portland area over the last 10, 15 minutes or so. It was downpouring outside of our studio, and we've just been looking at a light to moderate rain for most of the afternoon in Portland. And look outside in Portsmouth, much of the same. Just about any webcam I can find is soaked out there right now, and that's going to be the case for the night tonight. Let's get a look at the satellite and radar. You can see that right now we have pretty steady rain for most areas, especially up towards the mid-coast, including Augusta and Lewiston right now. And that's where the center of attention really is, as you can see. Let me pause the radar, and you can see that Farmington right now down through Augusta. If you're traveling 95 from areas like Lewiston over towards Augusta right now, it's just pouring out there, and that's going to be the case through the nighttime tonight. But let me move this around. And somebody I just saw in the comments hasn't seen much rain in the Sanford area. And yeah, we're not looking at any rain right now, but we have some rain down to the south. All of this is going to funnel in. But as we expand the view even more, this is where the more impressive part is we have an area of low pressure, and you can see it swirling just off the coast. This area of low pressure is eventually going to take a track up to the north. It's going to move sort of like this. And as it does so, it's going to move just to our south and move over us. And we are going to see some heavy rain develop. Let me take this stuff off, and you can see, there's really like two rounds. There's three rounds. We have round one. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hang on one second. Bear with me here. We have a couple rounds. So here's round one that's impacting us right now. Round two is down towards southern New England. Yes, it looks like a snowman. I'm just realizing this. And here's round three. And all of these are just going to phase together and become one storm. And that's why we are going to see this heavy rain through the overnight hours. And temperatures right now running in the 40s. And that's pretty much where they're going to stay through the overnight hours. Look at just how fast those wind barb things are moving. Just wicked strong winds expected through the overnight hours as well. You can see wind sustained. When you have wind sustained 20 to 30, it is windy out there, and it's really along the coastline. You might be thinking in Augusta, it's not windy at all. It's just heavy rain out there, and that's the case right now, and the winds are going to pick up. But really, I'm just honing in, especially on the coastline, for these strong winds. The winds are out of the south and east, and it is very gusty out there in spots. We have winds gusting upwards of near 40 in Rockland, 37 miles per hour in Wiscasset, 32 in Bar Harbor. Right now, it seems to be focused on the mid-coast. That's where the heaviest of wind has been. The strongest winds, I should say, have been throughout the afternoon. I'm going to get to some of these comments in a second. Let's just continue with this forecast first. And as we head through the next, 10 to 12 hours, we're going to see heavy rains. That's starting now. It really has started. And that's going to continue through the overnight hours. Strong winds as well. We're looking at wind gusts upwards of 40 to 55 miles per hour. You don't want to just focus on this number right here, the 55. Don't just focus on that number and think if you're in Augusta or you're in Sanford or you're in areas inland that you're going to see the 55-mile-per-hour gust. That's not going to happen. Inland, we're talking more 35 to maybe 45-mile-per-hour gusts. It's down towards the coast. As you can see already in the mid-coast right now, they're gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour right now, and this storm is just barely getting going. It's the overnight hours down towards the mid-coast. I think that's where we could see the 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Otherwise, along the coastline, 45 to 50, especially for most areas. Again, that is going to cause some power outages. I don't expect it to be too widespread, but I am expecting scattered power outages throughout the night hours and also minor flooding. I think the flooding, rivers and streams are going to flood through the nighttime tonight and into tomorrow. So if you're at a house that's right on the river, just keep an eye on the river through the overnight hours. You might even want to set that alarm. I mean, not that you might be able to do too much, but I do think that there will be some minor flooding, especially near the rivers, the small streams, poor drainage areas, urban areas. You could be looking at some minor flooding. This doesn't look to be a major impact storm in terms of flooding, but I do think there will be some minor flooding. Heavy rain, strong wind for tonight. That's pretty much the details. Rain expected through the overnight hours. Temperatures running in the 40s throughout the state. Let's get a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, and you can see around 9:30, we're looking at a moderate to heavy rain for most areas. And then just notice how these yellows, oranges, and reds, that all indicates, of course, the heavier rain. The reds is almost like the heaviest rain that you can get to. So we are going to see some heavy rain through the overnight hours. And let me actually back this up. I'll take this almost minute by minute and through the worst of this storm, and you can see that it just fills in from the south just continually through the overnight hours. And then by the time we get to about 4 or 5 o'clock, this starts to lift on up, and we are going to start to see it slowly clear out through the morning. And then by the time we get to about 9 or 10 o'clock, most of this is out of here. And then look at that. Sunshine returns. We're going to see the sun for the afternoon. I think tomorrow afternoon is going to shape up to be a very nice afternoon, probably the nicest afternoon we might have all week, as we are going to see sunny skies and temperatures will run in the 60s throughout the state. If you're up towards the north and mountains, you're looking at more clouds and showers as this storm pulls away. But Portland, Portsmouth, Augusta, Freiburg, Rockland, Bar Harbor, everybody is going to get into some sunshine for the day tomorrow. So that's our treat at the end of this storm. We do have to get through a lot of wind and rain, though, as we look at the wind tracker through the overnight hours. And you can see that the winds will pick up as we head into the overnight. I think we are going to see some wind gusts. Again, notice down towards areas like the mid-coast and Rockland. I think that's where we see the highest winds. These numbers might be a little inflated. So maybe we, minus a few miles per hour off of these numbers. Again, I think 55 is the max, and I have the strongest feeling that the mid-coast has the best chance of getting that. As you can see on this computer model, it kind of shows it pretty nicely. But even tomorrow afternoon, notice the winds to stay gusting upwards of 25 to 30. So while it will be a nice sunny day, I do think we are going to still see the winds through the afternoon. All right, this is total rainfall. This is not what we have from now through the end of this storm. I want to make that very, very, very clear. We are not going to see, there's actually two things I want to make clear right now, is this is the total rainfall. And I wanted to show you guys this because, again, if you're by the river, the rain that's already fallen is already impacting the rivers. The rivers are already starting to increase. So I wanted to prepare you guys for what are we looking from, this morning through tomorrow morning. So this is total rainfall. I think we see 3 to 5 inches for most areas. This includes Portland, Lewiston, Augusta. Areas like Rockland and the mid-coast, I've been watching through the morning and afternoon. I put a red little contour there, and I say that because I think most areas are still going to get 3 to 5, and I use the word locally. I use the word locally because I think that's the best chance for maybe seeing some 5-inch amounts or more. I got an email from one of our photographers here at the station, Jim Bound, and he said he in Scarborough has already gotten 2.66 inches of rain since midnight. So already more than 2.5 inches in Scarborough. And thank you for the report, of course. Send me your reports if you have them. If you have a rain gauge outside, send them to me. I'd love to hear them. we are going to get a lot of rain, 3 to 5 inches for most areas. But where the red shading is, up towards the eastern slopes of the mountains, we could also see upwards of 5 inches of rain. But even areas there, I think most see about 3 to 5. That's total rainfall from here, 7:49 through the end of this storm. I think most areas are going to pick up another 2 to 3 inches of rain. So if you've already picked up 1.5 inches, add about 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's where I think most people end up, which is why I think we're going to see 3 to 5 inches of rain for most areas. We're going to have numbers likely tomorrow. But yeah, I think that's pretty much where we are. That's how much rain we're going to see for the entire duration of this event. All right, the 7-day, or no, this is tomorrow. Yeah, I want to talk about the good stuff. This is the good stuff. We're looking at showers in the morning hours, but then clouds will give way to bright sunshine through the afternoon. Temperatures will run in the 60s. Look at these high temperatures: 63 Portland, 64 Augusta, Lewiston, and 60 degrees up towards the mountains as well. So yeah, even down towards the coast, we'll get into the lower 60s, maybe a little cooler in the Rockland area. Other than that, though, we are looking pretty good. And then this week is not looking that great. We're going to see morning rain followed by afternoon sun for the day tomorrow. And then lots of clouds for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even into the day Friday. I think we're going to see mainly cloudy skies, showers at times as well. Temperatures are going to run in the 40s and low to mid 50s throughout the state. So yeah, it's not going to be the best of weeks. Once again, another very unsettled pattern is shaping up. But let's talk about the good news. I think by the time we get to next weekend, it could be pretty nice. I was looking at some of the longer range forecasts, and it looks like we dry out as we head into next weekend and into the following week. So I think the following week could be pretty nice. That's some good news. Temperatures will run in the 50s and low to mid 60s. However, the pollen is going to go up. You're going to notice, I think by the time we get to, later in the week, you're probably going to start getting the green film on your car. The trees and everything is really going to start blossoming. And that's simply because the sunshine's returning and we've just had so much rain over the last couple weeks and this upcoming week. The ground is going to be saturated. So I think the pollen goes up later in the week. But yeah, we're looking at a lot of rain over the last week and then into next week. All right. Tatiana, hello to you. Hope you are well. Rating pretty good in Turner, according to Cheryl. Thank you for the report. Again, send me some reports if you guys have the rain gauges open. Matt, hello to you. Valerie as well. Thank you guys for all tuning in. A lot of people tuned in tonight, so I like that, of course. Heavy rain in Old Orchard Beach. Yes, I actually showed an Old Orchard Beach in my 6 p.m. show. It was raining very hard. Raining pretty good in Leamington. Thank you, Travis. April, hello to you. No rain in Sanford. Yeah, I was just looking at the radar, and it's not raining there right now. But everybody's going to get rain for tonight. Pouring in Fairfield. Tammy, thank you. Raining hard in Limerick. This just seems to be the theme through the nighttime tonight. Steady in Saco. Another one saying no rain in Sanford right now. So, yeah, again, you're going to see the rain. It's definitely coming. I can promise you that. In Auburn, it looks like it's raining pretty good. Pouring in Springvale, no wind. Yeah, the wind is really the strongest winds confined to the coastline through the night. Inland, you'll see wind gusts 35 to 45. This includes areas like the Augusta area, but it's really along the coastline that we are going to see the strongest winds. And hello from York, Becky. How warm will tomorrow afternoon get? Look at inland, 66 possible. I think about 62 to 66 for most areas tomorrow with some sunshine during the late morning and afternoon. All right, who else do we have? Raining pretty good in Auburn. Becky, hello. Barbie, thank you for tuning in. Mary as well. Rosalva, hello to you. I hope you are great. Hey, my buddy from Connecticut, Rolando. What's going on, man? All right. Oh, here we have a report. Rain gauge is up to 2.8 inches. Yeah, 2.8 inches already in Bath, and we still have about 2 to maybe 3 inches to go. So total rainfall was that map. Let me go back to it instead of me just trying to explain it. For anybody just tuning in, this is my total rainfall. So I wanted to show this essentially because I know a lot of people, maybe have live in poor drainage areas, and it could be useful to talk about how much rain we're going to get. But what about the rain that's already fallen, that's already flooding the rivers and stuff? So total rainfall 3 to 5 inches. I think that does it for most. A little bit higher in some spots, I think down towards the mid coast and the eastern slopes. Most areas overnight now through tomorrow morning see about 2 to 3 inches more of rain. That's where I would go right now. But total inches 3 to 5 for most areas. All right, what else do we got? Hello to you, Steven. Still raining in Buxton. And on and off, on and on in Dayton. It looks like it's raining in Dayton as well. Becky is saying, are we looking at this kind of weather, Rob, maybe gloomy for this summer? I hope not. Well, it's, I always, I get asked those questions a lot about how much snow are we going to get? How much rain are we going to get? Summertime is, how it's going to be. It's going to be sunny some days. We're going to get these periods of rain. It's not going to be any different than most summers. I wouldn't say, I haven't, to be honest with you, looked too much into maybe what the outlook could be. But I do think that, in the long range forecast, as I was just mentioning, of things that I'm very confident in, is that it's going to rain most of this week. But then by the time we get to next week and this next weekend, so about 6-7 days from now, it looks like we dry out. So I'm hopeful for that. I think we dry out, and I think it looks pretty good as we head into the following week. Let's hope so, because we deserve a break. And again, the pollen count is going to go up because the rain will stop. And of course, things will really start to blossom as well. All right, everybody. That pretty much does it for me. Stay inside tonight if you can, tomorrow morning as well. But get outside tomorrow afternoon. It will be on the windy side, but also sunshine and temperatures in the 60s. I'll be back on at 10 and 11. I don't know if we have sports on. I don't know if that gets pushes the show anywhere. But yeah, tune in tonight. I'll have the latest forecast at 10 and 11. And I hope you guys all have a good weekend. Enjoy your week.